back to NFT NYC 2023. We're here with another segment of Games with Web3 Friends. It's the first time I've ever gotten that intro. We're here with Mark from SynFutures. Welcome.
Thanks for having me today. This is great. I love this format, by the way.
You do? All right, good. We
It
did
gives you something to do while you
exactly. Yeah, we did it in East Denver. It opens up to conversation.
Yeah, and it makes it feel natural, right?
100%.
Sometimes I have like a camera pointed at me.
Do I look
start
here? Do I
like
look here?
Are my hands okay? Do I have them here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when'd you get in?
I live in New York.
Ah, there you go.
Nice, nice, easy.
How long have you been here?
I've lived here most of my life, actually.
Okay, so then our last
Native New Yorker.
Our last attendee was like, I missed my Uber, then we were gonna walk, and it was just like,
Oh, my office is actually like 3 blocks down there.
easy, a nice little schlep over, and even for the conference.
Yeah.
You could.
I'm so tired of like jumping to conferences.
Oh my goodness, it is draining.
Yeah.
It is draining. Is this your first NFT NYC?
It's not.
Okay.
Might be my second or third one. I can't really remember. I lose track of times.
Yeah. Why don't you give everybody maybe the elevator pitch on SynFutures and a little bit about where you guys are at?
Great. So I'm Mark. I'm a partner in CMO at SynFutures. We're a decentralized derivatives exchange, which just means we're a trading platform for trading all types of crypto futures. So if you want to long or short anything from ETH, thematic to any long tail assets, right? Ghost token, anything else on the platform, we're a completely permissionless trading environment.
Okay. We did do the rules. We do obviously stack on top and one hand is the way.
One hand.
The one is the way.
This might be like only the second time I'm playing this game.
There we go.
It's actually
You should have went with Connect 4.
might be a short game.
Yeah, you can do that. Awesome. So how long have you guys been live? Is your product live? Where do you guys kind of
So our trading platform has been live since October 2021.
Okay.
That's our V1. We're just now releasing our V2 at the end of this month, so super excited.
Super exciting time.
Completely revamped UX UI. We're adding perpetual futures in addition to dated futures or term futures.
Okay.
And we have a lot of other exciting things, I think, specific to like this conference and the NFT audience. We do have a NFT futures trading product that we just put out.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
What does that even look like?
yeah, so it's called SynFutures.
Okay.
And what we did was we copied the Tinder-like experience and ported it over to NFT futures trading.
Okay.
So it looks very much like Tinder. You have these profile cards, and you can swipe left or right to long or short on a CryptoPunk, on a Pudgy Penguin. on
I
a
gotta
Wave.
put this out. I'm very much listening to what this is. You're talking about Tinders and
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
I've never. Okay, so
So if you swipe right, then you take a long position. That means you believe in this, selection. So you say, hey, I want to swipe right on CryptoPunk because I believe the prices are going to go up. And you can do it with up to 3x leverage, right?
but I can't believe I'm asking this question. Are you then betting real ETH or money or
you
whatnot?
are betting real.
Okay, so I'm longing and shorting in a Tinder-like operation. Yeah, this is I don't know. It's already
It's already-
a house of cards. That's really obviously a great audience to launch into. So is that really a central piece that you're going to be talking about this week?
Yeah, well, especially at this conference, I think for like this audience,
Sure.
I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is, we look at NFTs, right, as a gateway into crypto and into Web3 journalists.
That's how I got started. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people now. I've actually built if you will, a blockchain product back in 2017. But I don't know that I got like the Telegram set up and got really into the community, if you will. I was more very heads down. It was a proof of concept, if you will. NFTs really obviously got a ton of people in, and probably why everyone's so bearish, if you will, is because they got wrecked. They did in 2021.
I did get wrecked in 2021.
Who didn't? And so it's interesting that you mentioned that of introducing a product and having it be a little bit lighter in terms of
Yeah, I think because the type of people that NFTs bring in are like new to the Web3 space, right? So you don't want to bombard them with I think right now the trend is like these NFT-fi products, lending protocols, NFT options products, derivatives trading products. But a lot of them are fairly complex, right?
Sure.
And, so it can look a little intimidating. Some of these NFT holders don't have experience with DeFi in general. And so we wanted to give them, this is my left hand. We wanted to give them like an easy way to get started.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah. Definitely need to go on the side. Woo! Yeah. Okay.
So we see this product as a way to introduce like the mainstream, right? The mainstream who are NFT holders into the world of DeFi. So we see it as like a gateway into DeFi for NFT.
Sure.
Wanted to make it fun, familiar, and gamify the experience of trading NFTs in a more leveraged and more efficient way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great segue to your conversations with individuals that you're looking to bring on to your team.
Yep.
They've got to be interesting because you guys are kind of. I haven't heard of anybody doing NFT derivatives. How is that conversation kind of going? And before you answer that, Lacey, do I have to stack the third, or can I do it on?
You have to say.
Yeah, I have to stack the third. Shoot,
He's trying to cheat, that's why I was asking.
I think it might go. That's it.
This is much harder than I thought.
We just played a really good game, but doesn't matter. The conversation's still.
Yeah.
He got the win. I got the loss. 1-1 today. But yeah, tell me about like your conversations with hiring individuals.
Yeah. So Web3 is really interesting because a lot of the hiring practices are pretty non-traditional, right?
Yeah.
When you compare it to like Web2 or just traditional industries.
Absolutely.
We actually, depending on what role, but especially on the business and operations side, marketing, business development, and even research, right?
Sure.
We look to our community first to see who we might hire. And part of this is because I think Web3 projects are so laser focused on building these really strong communities. And you have this huge group of like very passionate individuals who know the project inside out, right? So
Yeah.
we have community members who have followed our project, even pre-product launch, right? So this is early 2021, we started building this community. And so who better to kind of like work with us and represent the brand than the people who have stuck with us throughout the entire journey, right?
Yeah.
It means a lot more than just a paper resume.
Absolutely.
So, sometimes we put out a call into our community and we see, who'd be interested in like an internship program or even more for more senior positions, right?
Yeah.
I think that one of the beauties of like Web3 is our team and a lot of other projects are globally distributed.
Yeah.
So there are no like geographical barriers.
Yep.
It really opens us up to like a new pool of candidates that bring in a different perspective, a unique culture to the team. And we want to continue fostering that by, engaging with our community. But like, we also welcome like code pitches, right? So I have people who slide into my DMs on Twitter
How do you
and Telegram.
open that up, or how do you encourage that? If you
I encourage it by responding.
There you go.
I think people
Open his
take a lot of initiative in that way, and they've done a great job at reaching out. They're very clear about how they want to contribute, and I actually end up jumping on calls with some of them, and we've hired some people just through my DM.
That's great. That's great. Guys, I mean, we've talked about this as tips. Get involved in the communities, especially in something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Maybe you're passionate about, derivatives. Maybe you're passionate about NFTs. Obviously, a lot of us, are. But getting involved in the communities first and getting to know, not only is it gonna either A, help you know whether the company potentially is a fit for you, but B, I can tell you it's going to make you so much stronger in that interview to have, oh my goodness, here's the 3 things they've been working on over the last month or whatnot. It's just a great
Yeah.
piece. You talked a little bit about your, how you guys kind of funnel or find individuals. Is there anything specific or unique that y'all look for in your process that you would say stands out or is maybe a little bit different than the rest?
Yeah, I think in our process
Or that you're proud of. I could phrase it even a different way.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely look for people who, practice what they preach, right? So if you're
Okay.
saying you're in Web3, you should have the experience to back it up in the sense that as a retail user, you've used some DeFi protocols,
Sure.
you've collected some NFTs, and if you haven't been run before, then you haven't really been in one way too long.
You need some skid marks on it.
Yeah, you do. You need at least a few runs.
I like I heard it like that, but yeah. It was earlier somebody said validation of
Mhm.
in a specific capacity is definitely,
Yeah, proof of work.
it's definitely critical. So you talked a little bit about your next upcoming, product release. You talked a little bit about NFT NYC. What does success look for you at this event? Are you looking more for user feedback? Are you looking more for just getting the word out?
Yeah, so we're definitely looking for feedback, not only from potential users, but from other collections, so NFT collections. I think there's a little bit of a misconception that NFT derivatives being the ability to short an NFT is bad for the community. Right?
Yeah,
Because that's a bearish signal.
sure.
But I want to shift the sentiment around that because that's not necessarily the case, right? So I think in order for NFTs to become a larger asset class, you need more complex financial instruments for not only institutions but also active retail traders to hedge risk, right? So let's say you're a CryptoPunk holder, you're a huge believer in CryptoPunks and the OG project, and you have no intention of selling. But I think in the short term, there's always some market volatility. So I think CryptoPunks, we saw them drop from 70 to maybe 60 over the last couple of weeks. One thing you could do is you could open up a short position to hedge risk against some of the shorter downside,
Yep.
right? And so I think there are a lot of different ways.
And that's healthy, like you
Yeah,
said.
and
It's a
it's
healthy
healthy.
market.
It is healthy.
Yes.
Yeah, and it brings more, depth to the market. It brings more liquidity, and ultimately, I think that helps grow the entire NFT ecosystem. So, part of the goal for the conference is just meeting with some of these creators and these builders, and just kind of trying to get their feedback on how they see NFT futures playing into the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah. Do you worry at all, given that these are highly volatile markets, and especially we're a little bit concentrated right now, especially in the NFTs, especially in some of the blue chips, that market manipulation or anything is at play? Just because
It does.
if you will, obviously Gary Gensler is the worst, but
Yeah.
having rules and regulations around stocks that are shorted and things like that, it's a little bit easier versus NFTs where there's essentially no rules right now.
Yeah.
Do you worry, or have you guys,
I
how do you approach that?
Yeah, we do worry, and no, I think it depends on the utility of the NFT
Sure.
too. Right? So it's not just about is it a digital collectible or not. It's you know, it's as a holder, are my gains tied to the success of the team that um, created the project, right? So I think there are some, that it's still like a pretty hot topic in the regulatory environment. For us, we're just concerned about, how do we create a user experience that mitigates as much risk as possible for the user in terms of market fluctuation.
Yeah.
So one thing people ask us is, are your prices based on the floor price of an NFT? And the answer is no, because I mean, in a highly illiquid market like NFTs, floor prices are very easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
So for that reason, we actually use fractionalized tokens. So
Okay.
instead of trading an actual crypto punk or a share of the actual crypto punk, you're trading a fractionalized token of that punk.
Interesting.
So we work with a partner called NFTX. They do these vault tokens for crypto punks, bored apes,
Yep.
the whole gamut, right? And the reason we decided to go with fractionalized NFTs and not the NFTs itself is because of the floor price issue. I think with fractionalized NFTs, at least you're trading the last traded price, which is more representative of the current market condition versus floor price.
Sure. Yeah. I'm so interested in this. So, are you going to start with just blue chips, or is there anything?
Yeah. We are starting with blue chips right now. We have crypto punks. We're gonna add likely bored apes,
Yep.
pudgy penguins, miladies.
Okay.
Yeah, we're open to community feedback on what else we should add. The challenge is we need, blue chips work well for us because they have some market liquidity and depth
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. So you mentioned before we got on this video, that you have a couple roles that you're hiring for, or
We do.
one of those.
Yeah.
Any specifically that
Yeah, I think
get out
off
there.
the top of my head, on the business and operations side, we're always looking. So we're looking to hire like a mid-level BD person, right?
Okay.
So
Our
someone
community's gonna be pumped about that.
actually, so both mid and entry-level BD person, right? Because
Double pumped.
this would
about
be
that.
our first official BD hire, so
Okay.
it's a big deal for us.
Okay.
It would mean I don't have to go to as many conferences, and I can just relax a bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking for a BD person, two BD people. We're always looking for like community managers.
How many trademarks are they gonna do? That BD person. They're gonna have to be rubbed like 20 times to be a BD person.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have to understand DeFi, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about other DeFi projects about potential integration.
Sure.
They don't necessarily have to be super technical
Yeah.
or come from traditional finance, but I think, one or the other definitely helps a little bit in our world. Yeah. Beyond BD people, we're always looking for community managers, maybe like some PR people,
Okay.
communications candidates. Yeah.
Maybe let's give our community a leg up. What makes a candidate stand out, and specifically, even maybe for you or the team?
Yeah. I think, no different from any other startup is we look for people who take initiative and who show passion, right? Like sending in a resume, that's like the bare necessity. But going above and beyond, showing us that you really understand the project, that you're taking initiative, and that you think you're very like startup minded, right? Because most Web3 companies or startups are very lean, and this industry, out of any other industry, moves much faster. So we have to be able to adapt. We have to have team members who not only contribute to the things that are already supposed to do, but come up with new ideas, right? So we'd love to see people who reach out and say, hey, I looked at your, so let's say for a community manager role and say, hey, I looked at your community, you guys are doing an amazing job, but I actually looked at some similar communities and I see that they're doing X, Y, Z, and maybe that's something that we can implement here,
Yeah.
right? And it shows me that they care enough and they're interested enough to do a little bit of I mean, we're not asking for 40 hours just before you even apply, but maybe take an hour or two, poke around, see who our competitors are, and where do you think you can bring improvement? Right.
Well, I like that. Where you can, give a +1. Obviously, you're being hired to do a job. You
Yeah.
want to do a good job.
Yeah.
So giving a little insight into what you'd be doing at the job. Anything we missed about SynFutures that you wanted to update on or?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big one is we have the V2 coming up at the end of this month. So we're going to be running a ton of trading competitions and community competitions.
Trading competitions.
Yeah.
What is a community competition?
So we'll do we do social media sharing campaigns where people share what they love about the product.
Okay.
Things like that. And there are different ways we incentivize
Some fun.
usually through NFTs. So we have these community NFTs because one thing people don't realize, because we're actually one of the most active dexes on Polygon. But what people don't realize, we're still pre-tokening, right?
Okay.
So I think there's a lot of opportunity for people who want to get involved. I don't want to say exactly what that might be, but
Okay.
there will be some benefits in the future
I
for
think people can put two and two
for NFT holder. We issue NFTs to reward our early users, and these
Yeah.
NFTs will have definitely some priority and benefits in the future.
Isn't that really the song of Web3? Community engagement.
Community,
It gets rewarded, but especially by the good projects, if you will.
Yeah.
And it could even doesn't necessarily need to be a direct airdrop like Arbitrum.
Yeah.
It could be an actual, hey, you have a leg up, you have an understanding of what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, we give our community members early access to all of our products. They have first opportunity to try new things, and we're very open to suggestions. So we kind of want our community to help influence some of our growth, right, and our product direction, which again is very different from Web2. I think Web2, you're always product first, user second. In Web3, you're community and user first, and that really dictates, where the platform goes.
100%. 100%. The NFT derivatives, is that an app or a web app?
It's a web app for now.
It's a web app for now.
I mean, we designed it to be mobile.
You just said
first.
Tinder, so
Yeah. So I suggest that people check it out on their mobile phone, right?
Yeah.
Because it really mimics the Tinder experience. The challenge in Web3, though, not just for us, but for the rest of the industry, is we need to be mobile first. Not mobile optimized. Mobile optimized is not enough, but with the clunky wallets right now and the way you have to connect through mobile, it's pretty challenging. And then Apple has a lot of restrictions themselves. So
100%.
yeah,
100%. Mark at SynFutures, thanks for coming out.
thanks for having me.
Very great conversation. Have a great TNYC.
Awesome.
All
You
right.
too.
Thank you, sir.